girlfriend is trying to convince me into a relationship with her friend. We had a blow up this weekend over it. Should I apologize or call it quits? My GF is bi and primarily dated women before we met. We're getting serious and talking about getting married. We've dated for over 2 years. But recently she's been making a lot of polygamous jokes and I'm not really into it. She has this friend that I get the feeling is just waiting for a hiccup in our relationship to make a move. She's bi and openly makes jokes about being sexual with my girlfriend. I've shared that I don't like it before, but she jokes that I'm gay for not being into it. Maybe I could be into an experience, but honestly, this person just makes me uncomfortable too often. Besides that, she's just not my type sexually. We had a long conversation around COVID about she wanted to be referred to he/him, so I did. 2 years later he wanted to be referred to as they/them, so I did. Recently she's circled around back to she/her, which is fine, but the whole time she dresses like a Kyle. For those of you that are unfamiliar, a Kyle is a kind of guy that wears Fox apparel, washes down vape with a Monster Energy drink. She would be attractive, but it's like her idea of masculinity was formed from high school douchebags, not 30-year-old men. Anyway, Saturday we got into a fight because we had some friends over. Kyle was the last one to leave. We'd all been drinking. I was in the kitchen putting away some food and I see this asshole put his hand on my GF's ass. I let her know right away, that's the line, you crossed it, stop. My girlfriend gives her classic that's just how girls joke and goes. They did this silly little dance twirl thing that ended my GF on Kyle's lap. I'd had enough and stepped into the room. My GF doubled down and said that most guys would be dying to fool around with 2 women. I was blunt and said that I was uninterested in sharing her with anyone. Kyle then said something like maybe I could strap one on, maybe you'd prefer a man. I was drunk, this asshole had his hand on my GF's waist, and my GF on her lap. I lost it. I don't remember what I said exactly, something like if you were a man you would have been kicked out or knocked out already. This struck some kind of chord with her. She postured up like a gorilla and it was a 3-way shouting match. I don't know what was said exactly, but it ended with Kyle loudly proclaiming that she had to leave before someone got hurt. Here's the problem, my GF somehow thinks that I need to apologize. Me, for threatening a person who came into my home, grabbed my girlfriend's ass, sat her down on her lap, and insinuated that I'd like to be ass-fucked by a man. She says that I needlessly introduced violence, and forced Kyle to drive home intoxicated. I honestly can't fathom an apology, and I honestly don't care to have Kyle in our life anymore. I'm not typically the one to die on a hill, but I feel like anything short of digging my heels in is unacceptable. I told her I'd think about it. She's staying at a cousin's house for a few days. If it was just one night, I'd get it, but it's been several. Saturday was just the tipping point. But honestly, she acts like this something she can get out of her system. I think she wants to be bi, and I think a lot of her friends are doing the poly thing. It's just not for me. I want one partnership with one person. All of her poly friends are in relationships, but they come and go. There's nothing concrete there. She claims to want kids. She claims to want commitment, but her actions say otherwise. TLDR, my GF has a girlfriend that presents very masculine that she makes sex jokes with. Saturday she propositioned a 3-way. I got upset and her friend basically called me gay. So we almost fought. Now my GF wants me to apologize. I don't want to apologize. I can maybe get over it if we agree not to see Kyle again. I don't want to scrub another long-term relationship, but is this even something you can work past? Edit. She's claimed she's coming by to pick up things for work. I feel like a conversation is unavoidable. I've taken what I want out of the competent suggestions here and applied the relevant context into the talking points I want to hit. I may update tomorrow or whenever I feel better. I don't know if this post was a good or bad idea. I won't reply until I feel like it. I have a big band-aid to rip off. Comments. Commenter 1. I've shared that I don't like it before, but she jokes that I'm gay for not being into it. This is shaming tactics. If you know you're not into something and you've already told the PPL around you, yet they still try to get into it, you need to remove them from your life because now they're being disrespectful to your boundaries. That's what I'm saying, but they've been friends longer than I've been together with her. She writes it off as, that's just a long-running joke. But you can tell when a thirsty MF is eyeballing your woman replying to a deleted comment. What blows is that in almost every other way, we click. Similar interest, similar political beliefs, similar morals. We're both career-driven and stable. Our sex life is also very good. We both pay attention to each other's needs. But her poly friends have her believing she can be a stay-at-home mom and sleep around when she feels like it. She's 95% of the way there. Fucking sucks. Commenter 2, let's be real here dude. She consistently, repeatedly, does not show any regard for your thoughts, feelings, or boundaries. When prompted, she has done nothing to change an act that she is aware bothers you. If anything, she has increased her participation in that poor behavior. She doesn't seem to care about you when it counts. Ergo, she is far, far, far from 95%. I hope you find someone who does give a rip about you and your feelings. Because she does not. And with a friend like this Kyle person, without significant foundational change, I don't see how you can trust her again. Because it's clear that she doesn't see a problem with how her friends treat her, and she doesn't care if you do. Good luck. Update. I'm just going to go off the bullet points of the conversation, because I'm over it. She arrived yesterday with a peace offering from our favorite ice cream shop and wanted to set things aside so we could settle down and catch up on the new episode of House of the Dragon. I told her that I was uncomfortable just eating ice cream and watching TV with the elephant in the room. I think that she could sense that I was in a different mood than she expected. The talking points were as follows. I mentioned that I felt no need to apologize, and referenced that Kyle had never apologized for disrespecting me in my home on other occasions, and that the average person would display hostility towards someone who acted the way Kyle acted. Her response was that she felt it was a first-time offense and that she had no idea I felt so strongly towards the jokes in the past. I cut her off and told her that she wasn't listening to me if that was how she felt. She stated that I introduced violence, and that's what I should be apologizing for. I stood my ground and said that any person who touches another person's spouse sexually in front of them, without their consent, should understand that they're going to provoke a reaction. Given that I actually have boxing experience, I showed restraint. She made this weird point that, because I have boxing experience, I should somehow be more careful about provoking violent situations because I know that a fight between Kyle and I is a mismatch, which I easily countered with the fact that I didn't provoke the situation, Kyle did, and my girlfriend not seeing that as a problem. She mentioned that it was reckless for me to kick out an intoxicated guest. I easily retorted with Uber fucking exists. There's no reason to drunk drive in 2024. If she dies in DUI, it's because she was too cheap/stupid to pay the $15 to get a ride there. I'd looked it up yesterday. Her stupidity is not my responsibility. I asked her if she'd slept with Kyle in the past. She said no. Maybe I'm biased and not to be trusted, but I believe her. I told her that it makes me super uncomfortable that she keeps pressuring me into having sex with someone I'm unattracted to. This is compounded by the fact that I've had to jump through hoops to make sure that Kyle was comfortable with her sexuality over the years. This is the curveball I didn't expect. She claimed that Kyle actually likes me for that reason, that Kyle shows her affection like a schoolyard idiot, that Kyle feels comfortable with the both of us. My girlfriend feels comfortable with Kyle, so their intention was to gauge my comfort level and proceed. Obviously, I brought up that I wasn't sexually attracted to Kyle in any way, and that she hadn't helped her cause by treating me the way she has that night or the nights prior. My girlfriend reinstated that she was unaware that my feelings before were as strong as they are because I didn't display emphasis or something. Essentially, she thought I shrugged it off in good humor. I stated that I'd like to start talking about what a breakup looks like. She was obviously so far from the idea that we were talking about a breakup. Immediate waterworks, immediately incoherent, and apologetic. I brought up that I'm unsure if she actually believes in our shared goals of marriage, parenthood, and monogamy. She was in hysterics, but essentially couldn't believe that I would come to that conclusion based on. I told her that if she believes that, she either wasn't listening to me or not taking me seriously. I brought up that it wasn't okay that they called me gay because I didn't want to engage with their ideas. I brought up the hypocritical nature of her friend group being so inclusive, but making fun of my sexuality when I didn't want to participate in their games. She was hyper-apologetic and didn't understand that it was a problem until I framed it and had the shoe been on the other foot. It would never be acceptable. TLDR, well, there's the talking points. GF went to work. I said I did too, but actually cashed in on a sick day to research changed locks and breakup logistics. We ended by agreeing to talk more tonight, but I don't know how I trust what she says. I'm worried that our past relationship will poison my judgment, so I'm trying to get as much ready to rip off the band-aid as I can. She sits firmly in the camp of not wanting to break up, which means she leaves it to me to do it. What do you all think? Stay or nay? Comments. Commenter 1, run. She is the kind that only regrets her actions when the consequences hit her in the face. Commenter 2, she is the type of girl that is gaslighting Op, and since he doesn't want a poly relationship, she will start cheating on him if she hasn't already. She seems like the type of girl that doesn't see having sex with other girls while in a relationship as cheating just because the sex was with another woman and not a guy. Op should get tested for STDs ASAP and not waste more years of his life with someone that doesn't respect his boundaries. Commenter 3. The old, but it's a girl, it doesn't count routine that so many bisexual women have been trying to peddle for decades. It was bullshit then and it's bullshit now. Cheating is what it is, regardless of gender.